"We're giving the promotion to Jessica." My manager's voice was cheerful, like she was announcing good news. I sat across from her desk. The quarterly report I'd spent 3 months perfecting still warm in my hands. "Jessica," I repeated, my voice steady despite the way my stomach dropped. "The one who started 6 months ago." Rebecca nodded, her smile bright and practiced. "She's just such a natural leader. You understand, right, Mia? You're amazing at the detail work, but leadership requires a certain presence." The way she said detail work made it sound like filing papers, not the financial analysis that had saved the company $2.3 million last quarter, not the client presentation that landed our biggest account. Detail work. I'm Mia Torres. I'm 29, a senior analyst at Meridian Financial in Chicago. Or I was a senior analyst. I'd been promised this promotion for 18 months. Director of Analytics. The role I'd been doing unofficially for 2 years while being paid for 1. The role Rebecca had sworn would be mine after Q3 results came in. Q3 results that I'd delivered, that I'd exceeded, that had earned Rebecca herself a $50,000 bonus. Jessica sat 2 desks away from me, blonde and confident and completely unaware that every presentation she'd given this year had been built on my research. Every client she'd impressed had been briefed with my notes. Every success she claimed had my fingerprints all over it, carefully hidden because Jessica was good at one thing: making people believe. She was good at everything. I see, I said quietly, standing up. "Congratulations to Jessica." Rebecca looked relieved. "I knew you'd understand. You're such a team player." Mia, team player. The phrase they use when they mean pushover. When they mean the person who does the work while someone else takes the credit. I walked back to my desk, slid the quarterly report into my drawer, and opened a different folder on my computer. The one I'd been keeping just in case. The one that had been growing for 2 years. Every time Jessica took credit for my work. Every time Rebecca promised and then delayed. Every time I'd been told to wait just a little longer. In sideware emails. Time-stamped, dated, saved. Rebecca promising me the promotion in writing 18 months ago. Rebecca's feedback on my Q3 strategy, praising it as brilliant and exactly what we need for board approval. The board minutes where Rebecca presented my work without mentioning my name. Jessica's emails to me asking for just a quick favor with client research, which she then presented as her own. And the best part, the financial discrepancies I'd noticed 3 months ago. Nothing illegal, not quite, but creative accounting that made Rebecca's department look better than it was. Expenses shifted between quarters. Revenue recognized early. Small things that added up to a pattern that would interest the audit committee. A pattern I documented meticulously, thinking I'd never need it. Thinking loyalty would be rewarded. I'd been wrong about the reward, but the documentation was about to become useful. The promotion announcement went out that afternoon. Company-wide email, Jessica's headshot looking professional and polished. Rebecca's message full of praise for Jessica's innovative thinking and strategic vision. My name appeared once. At the bottom, thanking me for my continued support of the analytics team. Continued support. Like I was the assistant, not the architect. My phone buzzed with messages. Sympathetic colleagues. Confused clients who'd worked with me directly. One message stood out. From Marcus Chen, head of the audit committee. Saw the announcement. Surprised. Your Q3 work was exceptional. Coffee sometime? Marcus was old school, methodical, someone who cared about substance over presentation. He'd reviewed my quarterly reports personally, asked detailed questions, seemed genuinely impressed. I typed back, "Coffee sounds great. I have some information that might interest the committee." We met 2 days later at a cafe 3 blocks from the office. Marcus ordered black coffee and got straight to business. "You should have gotten that promotion." I sipped my latte. "I thought so too. But apparently I lack presence." His jaw tightened. "Rebecca said that?" Among other things, I pulled out my tablet, opened the folder I'd prepared. "I want to show you something. Not because I'm bitter, though I am, but because I think you should know what's happening in that department." I walked him through it. The email showing my work being presented as Jessica's, the promises Rebecca had made and broken. And then, carefully, the financial irregularities. Nothing I framed as accusation, just observations. Questions a good analyst might have. Discrepancies that seemed odd. Marcus's expression grew darker with each screen. When I finished, he sat back. "This is thorough, detail work," I said with a slight smile. "It's what I'm good at." He didn't smile back. "Mia, I'm going to need to present this to the full committee. Are you prepared for what that means?" I thought about 2 years of watching Jessica shine with my work. 18 months of believing Rebecca's promises. 3 months of perfecting a report that earned her a bonus and got me a thank you note. "Yes," I said. I'm prepared. Asterisk the audit committee moved faster than I expected. Within a week, they'd launched a formal review of Rebecca's department. Within 2 weeks, they'd interviewed 12 people, including me, including Jessica, including Rebecca herself. The financial irregularities turned out to be worse than I'd documented. Not illegal, but enough to violate company policy. Enough to show a pattern of deception. Asterisk Jessica was questioned about her presentations. Under pressure, she admitted she'd collaborated heavily with me, which was diplomatic speak for I did the work and she presented it. The emails I'd saved made it impossible for her to claim otherwise. Asterisk Rebecca was questioned about the promotion decision. She claimed it was based on leadership potential. The committee pulled her correspondence with me, found 18 months of promises, found the board presentation where she'd presented my work without credit, found the $50,000 bonus she'd received for results I'd generated. Asterisk 3 weeks after my coffee with Marcus, Rebecca was placed on administrative leave. Jessica's promotion was suspended pending review. The entire department was in chaos, deadlines missed, clients confused, because the person who'd actually been holding it together was me. And I'd stopped doing extra work the day I lost the promotion. Asterisk Marcus called me to his office on a Friday afternoon. The committee wants to offer you the director of analytics position. Not as a consolation, but because you were always the right choice. I kept my expression neutral. What about Rebecca? She'll be offered early retirement. The alternative is termination for ethics violations. Asterisk and Jessica? Her promotion is officially rescinded. She'll remain as senior analyst, reporting to you if you accept. The irony was almost perfect. Almost. I'll need some conditions, I said. Marcus raised an eyebrow. I want Rebecca's bonus for Q3, the one she received for my work. I want a formal letter of apology from her in my personnel file. And I want final say on my team composition. Asterisk he considered this. The bonus might be difficult, so was working 2 jobs for the price of one for 2 years. I replied. The company benefited from my work. I'm asking to benefit too. Marcus nodded slowly. I'll take it to the committee. Asterisk they approved it all. The promotion retroactive to when Jessica's was announced. The bonus paid out as a correction of an oversight. The letter of apology, brief and formal but official. And the authority to restructure my team. Asterisk. My first day as director of analytics, I arrived to find a card on my desk. From Rebecca, handwritten, probably required by her lawyer. I apologize for not recognizing your contributions sooner. Wishing you success in your new role. I filed it carefully. Not for sentiment, but for documentation. Asterisk Jessica appeared at my door mid-morning. Her confidence visibly diminished. Mia, I just wanted to say congratulations. I gestured to the chair. She sat. I know things are awkward. She started. I cut her off. You took credit for my work for 2 years. Not once, not accidentally, systematically. Every presentation, every client meeting, every win. You knew what you were doing. Asterisk her face flushed. I just thought, you thought it wouldn't matter. You thought I wouldn't notice, or I'd be too timid to say anything. You were almost right. I leaned forward. Here's what happens now. You keep your job. You do your own work. You credit your sources. You be honest about your capabilities. If I find out you've taken credit for anyone else's work, I'll document it and you'll be terminated. Clear. Asterisk she nodded, eyes down. Clear. After she left, I sat alone in my new office, bigger than my old cubicle, with a window overlooking the city. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt tired. But also something else, validated, seen, finally. After 2 years of being invisible while my work was visible, someone had noticed the difference. Asterisk my phone buzzed. A text from one of my former colleagues, now reporting to me. Thank you for what you did. Some of us were watching Jessica take credit for months and didn't know how to stop it. I replied, document everything, always, you never know when you'll need proof. Asterisk 3 months into my new role. The department stabilized. I hired 2 new analysts, both smart and hungry and importantly, honest. I presented directly to the board now, my name on my work, my face in the meetings. Rebecca had taken the early retirement, moved to Florida, posted cheerful beach photos on social media like nothing had happened. Asterisk Jessica still worked 2 desks away. Quieter now, doing adequate work but nothing exceptional. Sometimes I caught her watching me with something like resentment. I understood it. She'd been set up for success she hadn't earned, and when the foundation cracked, she fell hard. Asterisk but I'd built my success brick by brick, documentation by documentation. Honest work by honest work. When everything was examined, I'd stood. That was the difference. Asterisk 6 months later, Marcus called me into his office again. The board is impressed with how you've turned the department around. We're expanding analytics. 2 new divisions. I want you to lead the expansion. Asterisk it came with another promotion, another raise, and this time an office on the executive floor. I accepted. That evening, walking out of the building with my badge newly programmed for executive access, I passed the coffee shop where I'd met Marcus, where I decided to stop being invisible. Asterisk sometimes people mistake quiet for weak. They mistake documentation for paranoia. They think if you don't demand attention, you don't deserve success. But the truth is simpler. Quiet people are watching. We're learning. We're building cases while you're building facades. And when the time comes, we don't need to be loud. We just need to be right. Asterisk Jessica had presence. Rebecca had confidence. I had proof. In the end, proof wins. Not immediately, not dramatically, but completely. Asterisk if you've ever been the one doing the work while someone else takes the credit. Know this, document everything. Trust nothing. Promises are just words until they're in writing. And when people show you who they are, when they prove they'll use you and discard you, believe them. Then plan accordingly. Asterisk I didn't burn bridges. I didn't make dramatic speeches. I didn't rage or quit or give them the satisfaction of seeing me break. I collected evidence. I waited for the right moment. I presented facts to people who cared about facts. Asterisk and I won. Not with presence or charisma or politics. With documentation and patience and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your work speaks louder than anyone else's lies. Asterisk Rebecca lost her job. Jessica lost her promotion. And I got everything they tried to keep from me. Not because I demanded it, but because I earned it, proved it, and stopped letting other people tell my story. Asterisk sometimes revenge isn't loud. It's just facts, presented at exactly the right time, to exactly the right people. And sometimes that's more devastating than any dramatic confrontation could ever be. Asterisk.